What's up, everybody? Welcome to another awesome episode of Play4Keeps Live. My name is Mickey, also known as Cell Phone Wallet Keys. We're here to talk toys. Hit the music.
Where we dive into the fascinating world of all things collectibles, from toys to memorabilia, from hobbyists to pros. We're here to discuss our hobby, reminisce about the past, and look to the next wave of collecting.
How's everyone doing on this fine Friday evening? I hope you had a great week, and I hope you've got something exciting coming up for the weekend. Um, but we're here to talk toys, right? There's been a lot of toy news this week. There's a lot of toy news every week. I'm gonna be honest with you. You've got, Target Fall Geek Out. You've got Big Bad Toy Store's 25th anniversary. Uh, uh, what was the con that just? I can't remember the name of it, but we just had a con full of toys. So there's a lot out there to talk about. I'm just going to focus on a few things, right? So yeah. What's up, Ken? How are you doing tonight, buddy? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. So usually, we start out the show with like a play of the week, right? And we will get to that. You know what? Let's just do it now. Yeah. Let's go with it. I got a new graphic. I can't wait to show it to you guys. I think it's pretty awesome. Let's roll it. How'd you guys like that? It's pretty cool, right? I thought it was pretty cool. All right. Let me hide that. So yeah, you actually saw my two plays of the week in that video because I used it because I thought they were so cool. I got to unbox a couple of things this week. One I've had in the back for a while now, and I just had to open it. I've been building my Optimus Prime shelf way back there, and I had a figure that's been in the box for a good amount of time now. And let me hold on just a second there, guys. Let me loop this audio. Okay. But yeah, I opened it up, and it was the Optimus Prime Siege from War for Cybertron. Very cool figure, man. Very cool figure. I'm a guy that likes to collect Transformers characters that don't transform. Don't come at me. I know. I get it. I'm more of the action figure guy, right? So I don't want to be doing a whole lot of transforming from truck to, humanoid robot and back, right? But I miss it because when I did a little stop motion YouTube short on this guy, right? And it was the most fun I've had in a while with a toy. Just playing with it, transforming it, all the little things. He was just so much fun, and he moves around so well. He just looks so amazing. I love it. I had a lot of fun with it, surprisingly, because usually, like I say, I just buy them as figures or model kits, put them together, or I leave them in the box usually if they're actually a transforming figure. Yeah. So that's one of my plays of the week. The other one, if you saw in that new graphic, was the Japanese Marvel Legends Spider-Man. Another one that's actually been sitting in the box for a while. Been building my Spider-Man shelf. Moved it. I have a smaller shelf in the back. I moved it to a larger shelf because I just kept opening figures I have. And this guy's been sitting in a crate for a while, and I was like, man, I gotta get him on the shelf. And he's so awesome too. Again, a YouTube short where I unboxed it, posed him, put him in a few things. He's just great. He's got the little communicator because, they have more of if you've never seen this Spider-Man, the Japanese TV show in the 70s, do yourself a favor, just go watch some clips on YouTube or something, because it is a ball. You hear me? He's using machine guns. He's got a Zord, a Megazord. It's all based off of like Super Sentai, but it's Spider-Man, and it's awesome. And the figure is great too. I love these little white highlights on his boot. It's just something about it makes it pop to me. His colors are really good for Spider-Man too. His red's a little more orange than the traditional Spider-Man figures and characters, but something about it looks really good. It's got a really good retro feel to it. And I've had a lot of fun just posing it and playing with it. And he pops on the shelf, man. He pops amongst the other Spider-Man. And I think that's great. He's a little hard to find now, I think. You know what? Actually, I think you can find him now at a decent price from secondhand sellers. They're not killing you or gouging you anymore, which is great, right? So let's talk about a few things that dropped this week that I thought was pretty awesome. Hold on, wait, before we go back to that, back to my Optimus Prime for a second. Anybody out there watch Transformers 1 yet? Because what a great movie, right? As a kid who grew up on Transformers, watching the original series, I have them on DVD. I have the movie, the 1986 Transformers the movie. I've followed that franchise for a long time, right? Transformers Armada, all that stuff, Beast Wars, all of it. Never really got into collecting them real heavy outside of Optimus Prime, and I guess that makes me pretty basic as a fan, but whatever, I don't care. He's one of my he might be my favorite fictional character of all time, and so that's the Transformer I'm going to lean heavy into collecting, right? I've got an Ultra Magnus, I've got a few Bumblebees, Sideswipes, Jet. I got a few Autobots here. Gotta get some more Decepticons though. Now that I think about it, I don't think I have. I might have one Starscream. I think that's it. But yeah, I was just curious. Sorry about that. So I was just curious if anyone had watched the movie, because man, it was really good. It was very, like a lot of people have said, it's marketed more towards being funny and real kid friendly and goofy and all that. And that stuff's in there, and it is kid friendly. Don't get me wrong. There's some serious themes there. The arc that Megatron goes on is fantastic. Him and Prime, really, and Alita as well, and Bumblebee as well. I just had a lot of fun. My kids loved it. I loved it, and it was very refreshing and surprising to be as good as it was. But anyway, I wanted to talk about that just real quick. I'm sorry, but kind of related to toys, a little off subject, but not that off subject, right? So let's get into some of the stuff that dropped this week. I'm going to pull up a presentation for you guys. Some news that we've gotten over the past few days from various sources. And I want to start with the first one being the new McFarlane Marvel statues. I don't know if you guys were in on these. This is let me get double check. These were more of the first wave, right? That have already come out and already dropped. I didn't get into them. I felt like the price was a little high, but they are beautiful. I would have loved to have one of those Spider-Mans, that Wolverine, that Captain America for sure, and probably the Deadpool too. Sorry, Iron Man, I'm leaving you out there, but yeah. What about you guys? Which one did you get any of these? Or one of them was your favorite? Or were you like me? You're just like, nah, it's just a little too much for me. But they do look beautiful though. But this was the first wave, and they announced the second wave, which, man, I'll show it to you now. I might be in on the second wave. You know what I'm saying? It looks so good. There it is. Look at that. Man, I'm telling you, Kat, they do look good, don't they? And I love, let me maximize this for you guys. We get a nice, good view of it. I'll put me down in the corner. That Incredible Hulk. I'm not a great Hulk fan. You know, I'm not a big Hulk fan in general. That Incredible Hulk is so cool, and the Wolverine with his image in the claws, that's a huge selling point for comic book fans, in my opinion. And then you got Magneto, which, man, he looks good too. I think I've got individual pictures. We'll look at him here in just a second. But you got Miles Morales, that awesome McFarlane Venom, big Venom guy you can see on my wall. And another Cap, right? And I kind of like this Cap better, I think, than the other one. But let's see him a little bit closer individually, right? So we'll start with Miles here. Yeah, you've got his shock fist. He's in the traditional Spider-Man, like, I don't know what you call that pose, but that's pretty standard pose for a Spider-Man, right? But he looks good. He looks good. Just a standard Miles Morales. Looks good. Let's move on to the next one. So this Cap, I think it looks better than the Wave 1 Cap. I think it's because of the darker blue, where that Wave 1 was almost like a sky blue. I won't digging it, and it didn't have the texture of the scales on his like upper, I don't know what you would call that, you know, his chest guard, or whatever, shoulder pads. Yeah, this one looks a lot better, I think, in my opinion. Let's see which one's next here. Oh man, that Magneto from the X-Men 1 cover, sick, man. That's what he looks like. That wasn't McFarlane though, was it? That was Jim Lee, if I'm not mistaken. But that's kind of what that pose is. He looks great. A lot of cell shading on that one. Yeah, he does look like the Miles from the Spider-Man game. Totally agree. Totally agree there. So that Magneto, pretty cool. I wish, you know, the cape could be a little better, but not bad. And that pink's a little too bright for me. Now, the Incredible Hulk, all right, again, not huge on Gray Hulk, the original Hulk, right? Love the green. But this, the letters, the throwback, that's really nice. It looks so good. That would look so good for an Incredible Hulk fan, or just a Marvel fan in general, comic book fan. The detail, it looks really good from here. I can't, you know, I'd want to see it in person, right? But then again, I'm real concerned with what the price tags on these are going to be. We're going to find out October 10th, I believe, is when the pre-orders will drop for these. And you can check that out anywhere, including Big Bad Toy Store. Next up, this is the one, there's two that are calling my name, right? One of them is this Wolverine. They knew what they were doing with the Hulk reflection in the claws, right? It's not just me, is it? Like, that's a huge selling point, in my opinion. Now, the thing I don't like about the claws, if you look at the base of them, where they come out of his hand, well, the claws are huge in comparison to his body, which is a little, you know, the scale's a little off. But where his claws come out, it just looks like cheap plastic glued on top of his hand, and it bothers me a little bit. But man, the facial sculpt on him, the cowl, good lord, that thing is awesome. And then the last one, the best one, in my opinion, is that Venom. That McFarlane Venom is iconic as a guy who, you know, big fan, right? Venom. It's just a good look, man. I would have loved to have the whole thing with like Spider-Man laying down in front of him, knocked out and looking rough. That'd have been sick. That would have been sick. But that's a really good sculpt. When you get in a little bit closer, you can see he's got like a lot of blue highlights, which, you know, is very accurate to the comic book. Not something I love on my figures, but on the statue, I think it's going to be all right. You know, sometimes that blue it lightens it up just a little too much for my tastes, right? All right, so that is the first batch of releases coming out next week. Well, pre-order next week, it'll probably be a few months before they start dropping. But I don't know what the price point is yet. I'm gonna assume it's the same as the first wave, which was 40 to 50 bucks. Which I don't know, man. I might splurge on that Venom, but the rest of them, if I can get them at a discount, I'm gonna wait for sure. All right, so let's bring up our next presentation here, which will involve a very pricey figure, and I'm sure you've seen it everywhere on the internet, right? And that is the Mondo Spider-Man, right? This, every YouTube video, look, my algorithm is splattered with figure collectors, right? And this one has been everywhere. I was almost hesitant to talk about it because it's been talked about to death, but it is news and it is important and it is awesome because it's Mondo, and Mondo makes some really good figures. But figures in a bodysuit like Spider-Man, it doesn't work as well. They're masters of the universe, He-Man and Skeletor. Good lord, beautiful, magnificent. Would love to have them. Of course, I don't have the $300 to drop on them, but I would love to have them. And this Spider-Man does look great, but with the bodysuit, the joints and articulation areas kind of come off, crude, right? They look rough, and the paint looks rough because you're in that hard plastic in a suit. Those things would bend with the body in a certain way that you can't do on these joints, right? Which, I collect Marvel Legends. It's the same thing, but those are $25. This is $250, right? Now, it is a lot bigger. It's a 12-inch scale. I think it's 12-inch. I don't know what scale that is. That would be 1/6. 1/6. So it's big, right? Something else for me on this figure is the Spider-Man is really bulky, and there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, my money, I like a slender, long, lanky Spider-Man, right? This Spider-Man has been hitting the weights. This is an older Spider-Man. He's been putting in work in the gym, you know what I mean? But the guy is huge, and his arms just look really short and stubby, like a bodybuilder or somebody, building putting on a lot of muscle. They're not lean, they're not flexible, stuff like that. And this one, of course, you can tell from this picture, it has the cell shading as well, which, it's because it's from Spider-Man the Animated Series, so it makes sense, right? But some people don't like that, I don't mind cell shading if I'm going with a whole collection of cell shaded figures. Obviously, I wouldn't want to put a cell shaded figure with my regular painted figures, yeah? And then here's the whole layout of everything that comes with the figure. And remember, this is with a price tag of $250. Big money, but man, they make stuff that looks really good. They put a lot of work into what they do, and they try to give you your money's worth. So I appreciate it, But like I said, some things work a lot better, Again, if you haven't seen their He-Man and Skeletor, go find it, because I should have brought pictures, but I didn't. Sorry. It's amazing. It's amazing. It truly is. So that's the Mondo Spider-Man that dropped. We're going to move on to our last presentation of figures. It's one figure in particular. All right. First of all, for gaming fans, this is a good one. I don't know how you guys feel about The Legend of Zelda, right? I'm a big fan of Legend of Zelda. Love it. And Tears of the Kingdom, oh man, it became not only my favorite Lord of the Rings game, not my favorite Legend of Zelda game, but it might be my favorite game of all time. It really came onto the scene hot for me. And so they've been releasing figures since three figures since early this year, and I've pre-ordered all three of them, even though I didn't want to because they are expensive. And they just dropped this week the Zelda, right? You know what? I think I can't remember the manufacturer right now. Let me look it up for you guys. I think it's Haya. I don't know. It's the Good Smile Company. So they make some really good stuff, right? And I saw this and had to have it, man. This game, sometimes I feel like it changed me. I know that's silly to say, but she just looks amazing. So accurate to the game. And you've got that deteriorated, or I don't know if you call it acid or whatever happened to the sword where the darkness kind of ate it, right? And destroyed it. And she's got it in the future. I love that that sword comes with her, first of all. That was a big piece of it for me. I was like, man, I gotta have that sword. But she just looks amazing. You can see some more poses here. Very, very detailed. I don't know what the articulation is going to be like on it, but looks pretty good. I know Link looks great, and we'll look at him in a minute. I don't know if these lighting effects come with her hands. I doubt it. You know, I feel like those have just been added in there, but her face sculpt and her hair looks amazing. So good. So good. And that detail on the dress, the glyphs and stuff. Oh my gosh. This was a big selling point too, you know. Love that it comes with the console. So cool. Something very detailed. They put a lot of work into these. Again, you'll see with the other figures when I get to them, but they put a lot of work into the details of these figures. And here's Link, and he dropped earlier this year, and I believe he's still up for pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store. There's two versions. There's this one here, and then there's a deluxe that comes with a ton more accessories. I didn't spring for that one because it was like an extra $30, and you know, I knew I was going to get all of these, so I was trying to save my money on it. But man, they just look so good. I was just very happy. I can't wait to get these in my hand. You got the soft goods cape, his little poncho, whatever you call it, his little cape and his hood. But look at his, man, if the movement is really that good and the posing is really that good, I'm going to be very happy with this for sure, right? Keep moving here. We'll look at some more pictures of Link. This is what you get in the basic one. Let me get me out of here for just a second so you can see all of Link's. You've got the 3 hands. You've got 2 face sculpts. The Hyrule Shield, the Master Sword, and I can't see what that is. There's a little extra piece there. But yeah, looking super great. Super great. And if we move on from there, this is what comes with the deluxe version. You get the glider, you get the arm. Can't remember the name of the arm, but you get this basic, you know, starting shield. You get the bow and arrow. You get all the things that you would make, you know, in Tears of the Kingdom. All the cool constructs and stuff. You even get the the club with the rock on it, which is a nice touch, man. I kind of wish I could have gotten that one, but it is what it is. You know, I'm very happy with the basic version. It's going to be great, I think. There's some pictures of him. You know, the rocket on the shield is just epic. I don't know how many of you guys played the game, but I had a ton of fun with it. Just all these things you could do, and the rocket on the shield was one of my favorite things, actually. I'm pretty sure it was everyone's, because it was a good way to get yourself out of trouble a lot of times. You just do that and then throw out your glider and you're all straight. You can get out of harm's way quickly, right? Some poses from that deluxe figure. Gosh, just beautiful, man. If it looks anything close to this, I will be extremely happy with it. So let's just fingers crossed that these pictures are very accurate to what will come in the mail, actually, you know? Let's see what we got next there. So here is Ganondorf. And this is the one from Tears of the Kingdom, so he kind of has that desert king look, right? That, like, he's just looks so he looks so good. This isn't my favorite version of Ganondorf. I would rather have like the one from Ocarina of Time, right? But with the armor and everything. But this one is good too, man. He looks so good. Oh man, look at that. I know the joints are a little exposed, but it doesn't bother me at all because of all the detail in the clothing and the jewelry and the hair and face. It's just perfect all the way around, in my opinion. And we've got a few more poses of him with his weapons out. He's oh man, I can't wait to pose all three of them together on a shelf. I'm gonna have to move some stuff to make room for them. I have to start a video game shelf, I reckon, for my Street Fighter stuff too. There's everything that comes with that Ganondorf sword, bow and arrow, 2 head sculpts, several hands. I think is that a halberd? I think it's called something else. Taichi? No, it's a sword, isn't it? Whatever. It just looks really cool. That's all I know. But yeah, man. Yeah, Legend of Zelda. They are beautiful, beautiful things. So, one last thing I want to talk about before I get out of here. I'm going to pull this up for you real quick. But I mentioned it at the beginning of the show, is that Big Bad Toy Store has their 25th anniversary this year. I didn't know it had been around that long. I'm going to be honest with you. I've been following them for so long. I had no idea. Let me screen share with you here so I can show you exactly what you need to do to get in on this, right? So you just go to Big Bad Toy Store. They'll have a window for your 25 years right here, right? You have 25 days of special sales, which are all really good. I'll show you some here in a minute. And every day in October, they've been dropping an exclusive figure. So you got the Soldiers of Fortune Post Combat Operative. Yesterday was G.I. Joe Ultimate Storm Shadow. Before that, you had the Hack and Slash. You had Transformers Bumblebee Optimus Prime, G.I. Joe Reaction Crimson Guard, and so on and so forth. Right? Every day they've just been dropping something really cool and interesting and exclusive. Big Bad Toy Store. If you scroll down here, though, you can go to Inner Sweepstakes. Just click on that. Hopefully, it'll load up here soon. But all you're going to do is enter your name, email address, phone number. Why do you collect, right? Tell them why. Tell them what you're passionate about. Tell them what you collect, you know? Because you're going to send them a photo. Try to get a good photo of everything together that you can. Or maybe that one thing that means the most to you, like, I don't know what it would be for me. You know, I've got X-Men, Spider-Man, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Transformers, and Dragon Ball Z. I just took a picture of my whole shelf and sent it to them. Is all I did. Actually, I sent both of my cases to them. So yeah, you can right here upload them, tell them you're not a robot, and submit the form, and you'll be entered to win up to $25,000 if you're the grand prize winner. You'll be selected as a finalist first. Right, where 11 lucky finalists will have a chance to win the $25,000, and the 10 that don't, you get $250 in Big Bad Toy Store credit. What a deal, right? That's crazy to me. Let me pull that QR code up there for you so you can just hop right on over and check that out, right? And be sure to check out what pre-orders are coming up, because there's some really interesting stuff that I'm excited about. I can't wait to see. And the deals, don't forget the 25 days of daily sales, right? Because they have some really cool stuff. Look, you got this RoboCop, damaged RoboCop, almost half off, right? Oh man, I haven't looked at today's, so this is new for me. There's some really cool stuff up here. A lot of third-party stuff. Don't sleep on that third-party stuff, man. I'm telling you. You got some stuff that'll fit in with other franchises if you're paying attention and looking. Oh man, this is the stuff you need to get right here. All right, the firearm collection, the Ninja Army, all these accessories that you can't usually get with like Marvel Legends and all these other, lower end figures. This is the place, man. This is the place to get all that stuff for your dioramas, everything. Look, you got a workout equipment. Oh, they had a diorama today. Those sell out fast. Just to let you know, dioramas gone in a heartbeat. Out of here, man. So yeah, check that out. 25th anniversary. Don't miss out. You've got till October 9th, right? Let's go back and double check, but I'm pretty sure it's October 9th to enter. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's October 9th. It's not up there, but I looked into it. So you've got till next week or later next week. Get on that. Don't miss it, or you're going to be sad. You're going to be a sad panda if you missed it. Oh, and also, whatever you buy there, don't forget, you can add it to your pile of loot, and you can get it all shipped to you for $4. What a great deal, right? You could buy a whole shelves worth. Shelves worth? I don't know how you say it. You tell me. I don't know how you say it. But you can buy all of that for however much, and then get it shipped for $4, right? Great deal. I'm telling you. We're going to go through a few things here just to let you know what we're doing on Nerd Initiative, the Nerd Initiative Network. You can check us out almost everywhere this is streaming. You can check this stuff out too. So on Mondays, you'll have TV Talk with Off the Cuff Tom. Right now, he's doing a deep dive into Agatha All Along. He's recapping every episode every week. Be sure to stop by on Monday nights because he is hilarious, fun, entertaining, much more entertaining than me. I promise. Okay. Then on Tuesdays, we have a comic book club, right? They'll pick a issue of a book, or they may have an interview with a guest, but they'll break it down for you, tell you how they felt about it, whether they loved it, whether they hated it, what they liked about it, what they hated about it. And it's usually, a back issue of some kind, but it's always fun just listening to them as comic book reviewers and fans talk about these books in a very revering way. So that's all on Tuesday nights. Now on Wednesdays, we don't have any special shows, okay? That's because all day long on the website, we're dropping comic book reviews from 9 a.m. to usually like 4 p.m. Every 15 to 30 minutes, there's a review dropping. We've got so many people working so hard in our comics bullpen to read these books, write up a review on them, and get them out there so that you can decide whether you want to go pick that up or not, right? Some people want to. You may read it and be like, that's not for me. But I'm telling you, there's a lot of comic books out there, and it can be daunting and scary sometimes. Believe me, even as someone who's been doing it for a while, it can still be like, I don't know. I'm glad I have my friends here to rely on for that. Now, every Thursday night, wrestling fans, Wrestling Night Live with Rich, Ken, and Nick, they are so knowledgeable about this stuff. You know what I mean? I don't watch as much pro wrestling as I used to, but I can tell you what, I catch up real quick just listening to those three talk. They have a ton of knowledge and expertise that you're gonna hard pressed to find in many places, right? And they're entertaining. Just a little cherry on top. So that's Thursday nights, and then Friday nights, you're here with me. You're here with me, whether you like it or not. Sorry, so sorry. But if you're joining us, and maybe you want to strut around in a cool T-shirt, maybe you want to walk around with a really cool water bottle, right? So good. Hit us up with some merchandise. There's some cool stuff up there, and it'll help us keep the lights on, right? Make our boss happy. Yeah. Oh, man. I think that's going to be it for us. We're going to wrap it up right there. It's fun talking about this stuff with you guys. It's always nerve-wracking to get up here live for someone who's not used to talking a lot, right? But it's cool to share this with somebody because a lot of times I just kind of goof off on our Discord channel with it, or in chats with a few people, DMing people like, oh man, did you see that thing they released this week? But out here talking to you guys, it's pretty cool. I get to kind of open up a little bit more, and I'm getting used to it. I hope to get a little bit better. If there's something I can do better, you just tell me, right? And I'll try to work on that, I promise. So yeah, we're gonna call it a night right there. I hope you have a great weekend, and I hope we see you Monday, TV Talk, because Agatha episode 4, I think it was really good. It was really good. I enjoyed it, and I hope you guys did too. Right? Yeah. All right. So I always end every video, everything, every podcast, whatever I do, I gotta say, I want you to be kind to yourself, doing the best you can. Think about the people that are suffering from Hurricane Helene right now. Thoughts go out to them. There's still a lot of people with nothing, right? So be kind to yourself. You're doing great. You're doing so good. Lend out a hand to help others, right? And don't just play for fun. Play for keeps. Have a great night, guys. Thank you for coming.